chicos.
Hola chicos.
Bienvenidos a una nueva edición de Ruta 226.
Somos el Ministerio Infantil
Ruta 226.
Hey guys, I hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday today. Today we're going to have a pretty cool lesson. It's called David and Goliath, so let's go. Well, I have this bag here, and what do you think I have in this bag? Can you guys give your teachers some guesses? What do you think is in this bag? Well, I have 5 stones. And, well, you know what? These stones make me think of something that happened in the Bible between 2 men named David and Goliath. You may have already heard about David. Some teachers have talked about him before, about King David. He was a king, and he was a pretty good king. But maybe you haven't heard the story about David and Goliath. Well, this story is that David, he fought and killed a giant. His name is Goliath. And Goliath was a mighty warrior. Guess how tall he was? He was 9 feet tall. Can you guys believe that? Can anyone show me how tall that is? Can you show your teachers? How tall is that? Well, I guess it's pretty hard for us to show that height, right? Because that's so tall. That's way taller than all of us. We could probably measure it with a measuring tape, though. Anyway, Goliath wasn't only tall, but he was also really strong. And he wore a really strong armor in his whole body. And he had a sword and a spear. And the armor weighed 100 pounds. That weighs more than each of you. That's a lot. But David, on the other hand, he was a young shepherd boy. He was probably like 19, 20 at the most. And he had no armor. He lived, he was like a farmer boy. He would take care of sheep. And he had no armor. It was way too heavy for him because he was an average sized guy. He wasn't that strong. He didn't have a sword or a spear. Guess what David's weapon was? Guess. What do you think? Well, it was a slingshot. Yup, a slingshot. And guess what he used with his slingshot? 5 smooth stones that he just picked up from a nearby stream. But even though he didn't have the latest armor or the fancy sword, David still defeated the giant, who all the Israelite soldiers were afraid of. That's pretty cool, right? We may not face a 9-foot giant. We probably won't. But we face other types of giants, like insecurity, loneliness, and failure sometimes. But we can remember this lesson about David and how he used his 5 stones to help us defeat the giants we face. So let's see what each of these stones mean. The first stone represents courage. David wasn't afraid of the enemy. He wasn't afraid to face the enemy. You know what David said in 1 Samuel? He said, "Don't worry about a thing," David told Saul. "I'll go fight this Philistine." You will use courage to face giants in your life. The second stone represents confidence. As a shepherd, David protected the sheep from wild animals, so he had confidence to face Goliath. You have to be strong and confident. And you know what he said? "The Lord who saved me from the claws of the lion and the bear will save me from this Philistine." And like David, you can have confidence that God will help you overcome the problems you face. The third stone represents preparation. David didn't face the giant unprepared. He didn't just wake up one day. He was like, you know what? Let's do this, without being prepared. He went to the stream. He collected 5 stones, put it in his bag. He had confidence. He knew what he was doing. And he was armed with his shepherd's staff and slingshot, and he went to go fight Goliath. It's important for you to prepare to face the challenges in your life too, so you can face them a lot better than if you were unprepared. The fourth stone represents trust. David didn't trust in his own ability. When Goliath shouted at David, cursed him, and was ready to kill him, David said, "You come to me with a sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord God Almighty." When you face problems, put your trust in God, not in your own ability, because God is much greater than us, and He can do things that we can't. The fifth stone represents victory. David said, "It's God's battle, not ours." That's why David had victory over the giant with only a stone and sling. When you turn over your battles to God, you'll have the victory over the giants in your life. So the next time you're facing a giant in your life, remember the story about David and Goliath and his 5 smooth stones and what each of those mean. Okay? Repeat. Courage, confidence, preparation, trust, and victory. That's what you need to face all the giants or problems that you may face in your life. And remember the story in 1 Samuel. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. And I hope you guys have a really fun time in your class today. Have a great activity, and I hope to see you guys next week. Bye guys!